Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and I'm not even going to address what we're going to be doing in this episode because you know. Like, if you've been watching the previous episodes, you know what we're doing. So, what I'm going to talk about, it's a funny thing that happened at work today. I don't talk about work much, but, I know I did a couple episodes just to complain about my schedule, but funny thing that happened at work today, technically yesterday, is... I won't go into too much detail, but it does give me a chance to talk about something I kind of want to talk about, but don't really want to talk about. At work, a coworker said to me something that relates to my little secret project that I've been working on for like a month or two now. And I just couldn't. I'm glad I was wearing a mask because it was very hard to hide the smile that I had on my face because I just she doesn't know what she's talking. Well, I mean, she knew what she was talking about, but she didn't know what she was talking about, you know? Like I got the little secret project I have going on, which is, which I will reveal at 50 subscribers. Yeah, it's my 50 subscriber project is the one I'm referring to. Okay, cool. But yeah, and that's honestly that's really all I have to say about the subject, because if I say any more, I'll reveal too much about the secret project and it won't be a secret. So yes, 50 subscribers. I feel like if I mention how many I have right now, then it'll like jinx me or something, and I'll like lose a subscriber, and I'll be like, oh man, I'm only X away, and then suddenly I'm X minus 1 away, and I'll look like a fool. But we're very close to 50 subs, which is really cool because, I mean, that's, for me, 50 subs would be like, all right, we're getting somewhere, right? Like, it's certainly not enough to make a living off of, but it's basically, I would argue, like the first benchmark towards my goal of making a living off this sort of thing. Yeah, just go ahead and kill me. It's fine. So the first milestone there, and I think that's pretty cool. What's not cool was the placement of that enemy. Yeah, 50 subs. Looking forward to it. I guess I feel weird not saying this whenever I talk about this. But thank you, everyone who's subscribed. Ow. I'm glad you thought my content was entertaining enough to subscribe, because ultimately, yes, my goal is to make a job out of this, but the reason I want to make a job out of this is because I want a job entertaining people. So yeah, and this is probably the most accessible way to do that, I would guess. Even then, I mean, it's arguably not incredibly accessible because people at the top are always getting recommended over everyone else, and, right? It's a system that feeds into itself, where the rich get richer, that sort of thing. It's whatever. Point is, I want to entertain people for a living, and it's easier to do this than to become an actor in Hollywood, probably. Not that would I really want to be an actor? I don't know. I feel like I like acting, don't get me wrong. Right, and that's one thing I found out in high school when I did not so much my first show, but my second show in theater. Because I did 2 shows my high school year. I hadn't done theater prior to that, except for like a 5th grade play where I didn't know what I was doing at all. It might not have even been 5th grade. It might have been like 3rd grade. All I remember from that one is that I was playing Elvis and I missed my cue. But point is, what was my point? Oh yeah, I was trying to determine whether I would want to be an actor. I mean, an actor would be nice. The problem is, I don't think I'm very good at comedy. And comedy is what I would desperately want to be good at. If I were an actor, I would prefer to be a comedy actor, but frankly, I think I'm much better at, which isn't to say good, but much better at drama. So I feel like I would probably get stuck in the role of playing, just playing serious characters. And granted, you can have a serious character in a comedy, like, the whole straight man, and I don't remember what exactly the name for it is, but the whole straight man and crazy guy aesthetic has been central to comedy for at least 100 years now. Okay. Cool. So yes, I could be the straight man in the pair, but also, I don't know what I want to be. The Fool? Is that what it's called? Might have been The Fool. Straight man and the Fool. Not sure. Oh, hey! I did the thing where I ran into a monster on a tile that would normally be a special tile. That's fun. Okay. Now, I wonder if you crouch, do you get knocked back less? I think it works that way in Castlevania? But I don't really want to test it right now. Okay. Into the lava. Didn't make a whole lot of progress, but we made some. It's fine. We at least explored a little bit more. So fun fact, relating to the whole trying to make a break in Hollywood thing. Initially, when I was getting close to graduating high school, I still wanted to be an entertainer of some sort. Even back then. Because I had taken a class called Media Communications, in which we made videos that were effectively basically just YouTube videos. But we didn't upload them to YouTube, we showed them to people at lunch on the screens that were in the cafeteria. But I knew I wanted to work in entertainment in some capacity, as I still do. But I didn't necessarily want to be an actor or even a writer or director. And I had, dipped my toes in all those roles before. But ultimately, what I believed I was best at, and kind of still do believe, even though I realize I'm not quite as good as I thought I was at the time, but what I wanted to do, I wanted to be an editor, a film editor. And I thought, surely there are less people who want to be editors than actors. Because, it's not exactly a glamorous living. Right? I'm not really looking for a glamorous living, which is why I was kind of okay with being an editor. Right? Like, I'm not trying to get famous. In fact, I'd actually rather prefer not to be famous. But I wanted to play a hand in, just ultimately, I want to work in comedy, so I wanted to play a hand in, making people laugh. And, at the time, I felt like I was best at editing rather than acting or directing or camera work or what have you. So I was like, yeah, okay, I think I want to be a film editor. And then come a little closer to graduation, various parties who I will not name because I don't want to bring shade on them, because I know that they just wanted what was best for me. And they said, well, we know you want to be a film editor, but maybe consider something else. Because, even the average, at the time, I think the average salary for a film editor was like $50K. And that's not especially, it's not a lot, really. Like, it's certainly enough to live off of in some areas. Like, if I were to try and, I could live off that around here where I live now. Cool. But like, if I were living in Cali making $50K a year, like Los Angeles, yeah, that's not happening. And granted, things have gone up due to inflation. It's been 8 years since I graduated, dear God. But some concerned parties were like, maybe think about doing something else. So I did. I thought, well, there's more than just, film. Films aren't the only entertainment out there. There's TV, but that's basically the same as far as careers go. But also, there's video games. Of course, you're probably not surprised. I was playing video games long before I even started high school. I've been playing video games since I was about 4 years old. That's when I started playing Pokemon. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can do some work in video games. Another highly contested career out there is game designer. I was like, okay, maybe I'll go for game designer because everyone wants to be a game designer. So, there's a lot of competition. Maybe I'll be a programmer. Maybe I'll program games. So, when I eventually went to college, the first time, I was a computer science major. And I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to code. I'm going to use that knowledge to make games. It's a cool idea, right? Except maybe like 10%, if that, of any of the coding I actually had to do in school was making games. The first probably 40% of coding I did in school was just figuring out the basics of code, right? Learning a couple languages and then learning about, different data types, how to store things efficiently. It was not what I was looking for, basically. Ow. Stop. Ow. I'm dead. Okay. And so I was like, okay, well, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but I can get there. I can get to making games, to coding games. And then came the other half of my first 4 years of college, where the classes I was having to take weren't even about the basics of coding anymore. It was basically what I was studying at that point was I just remember one of my classes that I had in my last year at that school was a class on how to store information on genetic sequences in the genome. And I had zero interest in that class. Zero. Like, yes, it was programming, and thus it was tangentially related to what I want to do with my life. But it was just not at all. That was just a bad jump. It was just not at all what I wanted. And I just couldn't bring myself to finish that class. I don't know. Things are in the process of working out. But maybe things will work out in the game next time. Because, as for this episode, that's a wrap. Did I get a little too deep there?